All right, so let's go through a couple examples of how to actually do a radioactive decay problem. We are going to start with alpha decay. So as a reminder, when you are working with alpha decay, it is going to lose 2 protons and 2 neutrons. So let's go through and let's work this problem. We are starting with polonium 180. Okay, polonium has an atomic number of 84 and has a mass number of 180. So first things first, we automatically know that if it is alpha decay, it is going to release a helium particle. So if we flip back up to alpha decay, you will notice that this is a helium particle. So all of our helium particles are going to have 2 protons and 2 neutrons, which makes 4 as a mass number. So in your alpha decay problem, we automatically know that this number is going to become 2 and this number is going to become 4 because it is 2 protons plus 2 neutrons, which is helium. Now we need to figure out how many protons, neutrons are we going to have with this lead. There are 2 ways that you can figure this problem out. One, you can look on the periodic table and determine what the atomic number for lead is, or we can do the calculations. So let's practice with the calculations. In this problem, we know that we are going to lose 2 protons. So if we start with 84 protons and we lose 2 protons, what number are we going to be left with? 84 minus 2, which is going to become 82. So that is how you complete the bottom number. Now, when it comes to the top number, we know that we are losing 2 protons and 2 neutrons. But remember, our mass number is protons plus neutrons. So if we're losing 2 protons and 2 neutrons, the mass number is going to be 2 plus 2, which is 4, which is what we have here. So what we're really losing from our mass number is 4, not 2, 4. So we have to take 180 and we are going to subtract 100, we're going to subtract 4 and we will be left with 176. Okay, so this shows us our alpha decay. We started with 180. We lost 2 protons and 2 neutrons, so total we lost 4 from our mass number, which became 176. We started with 84 protons. We lose 2 protons, so our new number becomes 82. Now, a way for us to double check and make sure that we have done this problem correctly. There is a plus sign here. So when you add 82 plus 2, it should equal 84. If you add these 2 bottom numbers together and it does not equal this number, that means you have done something wrong and you need to fix it. And most likely you need to fix this because this does not change. Then if you add 176 plus 4, it should equal 180. So that is a way to double check and confirm that you have completed the problem correctly. Now let's look at an example of beta decay. So with beta decay, we are losing an electron. But remember, losing an electron means that we are gaining a proton and we're losing a neutron. So let's go through and let's look at the symbol. The symbol for an electron or for beta decay is going to be this E. Remember, the -1 stands for the charge of an electron, which is negative, and 0 is going to be our change in mass number. So when we look at our example, we can automatically go in and plug these values in. So the bottom number for electrons should be -1. And the top number for electron or beta decay should be 0. Now, when we are trying to figure out what these numbers should be, remember we said we are going to gain a proton. So if we start with 6 protons and we want to gain 1 proton, 6 plus 1 is going to be 7. So now we have 7 protons. Okay. Another way to confirm is if you look on the periodic table and you look at nitrogen, you will notice that nitrogen has an atomic number of 7, and so that is also going to be the number of protons. Now, when we are working with our top number, our mass number, there are two ways that you can approach this as well. One thing to remember is that beta decay, the mass number does not change. So this 0 here means that the mass number is not going to change. So whatever the mass number is for your original atom or element, it is going to be the exact same mass number. So in this case, it is going to be 14, not 17, 14. Okay, but you can also do the math. So if we start with 14 and we gain a proton, that's going to increase our mass number to 15. But if we lose an electron or lose a neutron, it is going to decrease our number back down to 14. One last thing that I wanted to point out is when you are looking at the electron and you're looking at the symbol for electron, I want you to understand why this number is 0. So if we think about the properties of an electron, this top number represents mass number, and mass number is equal to the number of protons and the number of neutrons. But we know two things about electrons. One, they don't have any protons or neutrons, and also the mass of an electron is pretty much non-existent. So we learned that from the very first chapter in our notebook. So this is why this number is 0, because it does not have any protons, it does not have any neutrons, and the mass of an electron is pretty much 0. So I just wanted you to understand why this was what it is. We understand helium in that the atomic number for helium is 2 and the mass number for helium is 4. But I also want you to understand that for an electron, the charge, or quote unquote, the atomic number is -1, and there is no mass for an electron. Electrons do not have any mass. The last one that we are going to practice with is gamma decay. Now, gamma decay is very easy to understand because there aren't really any changes. So it does not lose any protons, neutrons, or electrons. It does not gain any protons, neutrons, and electrons. The only thing that it is doing, it is releasing energy. Okay, so when we are doing a gamma problem, we'll notice that the atomic number, which is this bottom number, is not going to change, so that will be 28. And the mass number is also not going to change, so that is going to be 58. Now, when it comes to writing the notation for a gamma particle, again, we said that it does not have a mass, or it does not have any protons, neutrons, electrons, no charge, any of that. So that is going to be 0. So the gamma decay is very easy and simple to understand because it does not lose anything. Okay, so these are your examples of alpha, beta, and gamma decay. And the last thing that I wanted to note is when we were talking about what it can go through. So if this is your particle, it can be stopped by a piece of paper for alpha. It could be stopped by aluminum for beta, and then lead can only be stopped by, the particle can only be stopped by a thick block of lead if it is a gamma particle.